Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to go over the hair trends for 2026. I've done this every year, I think for the last 7 or 8 years, and it's one of my best videos typically of the year. So happy to be back and sharing what's in for cuts, for colors, for styling. And one thing that I would kind of like to leave you with is the overall feeling. I think sometimes when we hear about trends or we see this trend forecast, it can kind of be all over the place and you're almost left a little lost. Not here. I'm going to give you what I feel is the overall feeling for hair and styling for 2026, but also how to make it work for you. And I want to preface that the trends I'm going to be sharing with you here today are trends that I've been studying, from the runways to what magazines are saying to what all the leading industry people are saying, but also what I'm seeing real people, even celebrities, what everyone's actually gravitating towards and what's the lean for this year. So for color, I think I said a little bit of this already last year where everything's getting kind of softer. I think this year it's all soft, the least contrast possible in hair. That's the overall vibe I'm getting with color. I think if I had to say between blonde and brunette, I think brunette this year absolutely wins. And I think the color of the season is going to be this espresso brunette. Now, we've had brunette really trending in the past, and it's either really warm or really dark, really ashy and shiny and glossy. This is a little bit different because there is a dimension, but it's so subtle. And I think if there's one trend that's across the board, it is that. It's subtle dimension. Absolutely not one solid opaque color that could possibly look like it's coming from a box. This color looks rich. It looks expensive. It looks like you left the salon with, $800 highlights, and yet they're just this little shimmer. So I'd say the number one trending color for the year would be this espresso brunette. It is warmer in tone. The one thing I do love about this, obviously if you're kind of cool toned, you probably want to go for something a little more neutral. So what you don't want to do is go too ashy for this trend specifically. It's kind of having this caramelly highlight just barely peeking through. But it looks luscious. It looks rich in color, meaning it's almost looks wet and heavy with pigmentation. Now this might sound a little contradictive, but the next one is called ash brown. But this is not a brown. This is blonde. This is lifted up to at probably about a level 9 and then toned down. So mushroomy, so ashy. I feel like this mushroomy cool tone brown has kind of made its pop up here and there. It comes back in trend for a reason. It is extremely difficult to achieve. This is actually a blonde that's extremely ash and not a brunette, but it gets categorized as a brunette because it is so dark. And this is why it's so confusing, because someone with dark hair will look at this and say, I want that. Let me just tone it ashy. If you tone it ashy, literally your hair color will not budge. You have to go blonde to then get to this color, which is why it's such a rebel color and why I think we keep seeing it come back, even though the overall feel in color for this year is more warm tones. This is that little rebel color. Okay, next for blondes, the biggest difference I think we're seeing this year is the softness. I'm seeing way less root smudges, way less, either a highlight to the root that's just so minimal, barely there, but it's all the way to the root. We're not seeing this crazy shadow and then, brighter color, but we are seeing dimension, but we're seeing very tonally balanced blonde. So I did a video on this a couple months ago with a trending color called Smokey Caramel. And again, those are contradictive. Caramel by default is warm, smoky, it's typically ashy, gray. And it's equal balances of those two tones. And you create this very suede-y, it's not matte or flat, but it's almost there. And it's subtle. It looks really natural, which is where its richness comes. The richness is not from this crazy contrast or, this crazy golden warm tone or super ashy as we saw in the last 10 years. This is equally balanced, which is, I think, when it comes to tones, something we haven't seen in a very long time. Any of the trends that we saw last year too with the word latte in it, where latte refers to like the milkiness, the brightness of it, but it's never bright in a shimmery way. It's always kind of dimmed. And I think in terms of blondes, that's where we'll live this year. The other funny thing within color is ombre kept coming up. Like ombre is back. Ombre kind of, you know, has been out of the spotlight for a couple of years, but it's back. But every time I looked at photos, I'm like, where's the ombre? Their meaning of ombre is just think of like a little girl's hair, like that softness. To me, this is still quiet luxury, expensive hair. It's still that to me, where if you like take your ends up to the roots, the ends look lighter, but it's done so subtle from root to ends that you barely notice where that transition happened. Now, if you're wondering, how do you achieve these looks? These are all, I would say, heavily highlighted with a baby light. So thin, shimmery highlights, and those highlights being toned within 2 levels of the base color. So in the past, we've wanted impactful brightness. We wanted, you know, the super platinumy blonde and then toned in a very ashy color, or super bright results, but then a soft kind of smoky root. That like contrast, we were always after the dimension and the contrast. Whereas this is soft, like you could have been born with this color, like you can't tell. And that's kind of the richness in it, is that it just looks so natural and so soft. Now, if you're wondering, well, what if my features and my coloring require contrast, or I like dimension? How do I achieve this? One of the best ways, if you do want to stick strongly to the trend, is to contrast with your skin. So you don't necessarily always need the contrast within the hair, but the hair contrasting to the skin can also achieve that same effect. So say if you have this like bronzy, olivey skin tone, either going much darker with the hair so that it contrasts, or much lighter than maybe you have been, that beautiful contrast is your contrast. Now, in terms of tones, and I've talked about this on my channel in the past about how you shouldn't necessarily follow a color or tonal trend if that doesn't suit you. And although I absolutely stand by that, I also think that you can kind of make the trend work for you. So if you're like, well, I like ashy tones, that's what really suits me. How do I maintain the really like ashy kind of color so that it suits me, but I still don't look like I have hair from 5 years ago? First of all, there is one major trend that is ashy, so there's that. But say you're like, I want to be blonde and I want to be ashy. I would stick to one of those things, mainly probably the base being a really ashy, smoky color, and then the highlights, instead of also being toned to a brighter but still ashy kind of tone, I would tone them again with something more like a smoky caramel, where you do have those ash tones, but you do have this subtle bit of gold. But nobody looking at your hair would think, oh, her hair is really warm and golden. But there is that gold there supporting the trend, but still honoring your skin color and skin tone. All right, next are cuts. And I think a little bit going back to what I said last year, whereas like extremes are not as in, like maybe not so much a pixie, maybe not so much like the long extensions or long hair. I love that now we just refer to long hair as them being extensions, and that's kind of become the norm, which is why I feel like there's this less like intrigue about long hair. It's like not as interesting anymore. We've seen absolutely everyone with long hair at this point. I feel, celebrity or not, I feel like everyone has tried extensions that has wanted to, and it's not like this hard thing to achieve anymore. Now, I will say this, there are certain things in hair, brunette as a color will always be classic and will never look wrong, if that makes sense. Long hair will also never, no one will ever look at long hair, of course, also if it's well kept, no one will ever be like, that's just not trendy enough. Like long hair will just always be classic and beautiful. Like we don't need it to be a trend for it to be considered beautiful. With that being said, with trends, the pendulum tends to swing in the opposite direction of what it was last season. But I think an interesting thing is like Yes, are we going to still see long hair? 100%. Is that like the trend, or like, oh my gosh, everyone's going to go out and get long hair? No, because everyone's already had long hair, I feel. And so I feel like more trendy is this mid-length with a ton of face framing layers. If I had to summarize a haircut, a hairstyle, it would be this. Just layered, 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 super smooth, sleek mid-lengths and super beveled, waved in ends. And I feel like at first, like when I see this hairstyle, it's like there's nothing new about this. I feel like we saw this in the 90s and probably a million times before that, but it's slightly different in that the 90s kind of a layered cut was a little bit shorter and kind of more layered all over, whereas I feel like this is a very like grown up, sleek version of that, where the layering is more face framing, more in the front, and the rest is just glossy and smooth and perfect. I always feel like when I'm looking at trends for the year, like Pixie always makes it like an appearance. It's always there. And I feel like some years kind of more than others, like, you know, we see celebrities, you know, sport a Pixie, but I don't really see that so much for this year. Again, if you have the features and you have the personality, a Pixie will always just win. It just will, because if it looks good on you, you win, period. You don't need it to be a trend for it to look amazing on you, but I don't think everyone's gonna go chop off their hair this year. I don't think. The other trend in terms of cuts is the bob, but very specifically, and I hate to make it about the style and not about the cut, but I know that as clients, we can make this confusion often. And basically the bob, I feel like, is here to stay, but not in a sleek, blunt bob kind of way. This is beveled ends, looks very effortless French chic. If you're gonna have the bob, it has to be this kind of like soft, like off-duty model kind of French laid-back Parisian vibe. I don't know. That's the only way I can describe it. It looks like you've spent no time on it. It looks effortless, but in fact, it requires the blowout on your shorter hair. The key with this one is like extra volume. Just like typically, I think when there is a bob involved, it's like kind of about sleekness, where this is like the opposite. It's like celebrating the volume, and especially at the ends. I feel like we've kind of started going into styling already. And so with that, defined curls, defined curls, defined curls. Again, this shouldn't be a trend. If you have curly hair, you're probably like applauding right now, because it's like finally. And I feel like for the longest time, we just, whether it was in salons or just you personally at home, like it was about blowing out the curls and just getting a smooth, sleek blowout. Whereas I think a natural wave, enhanced, diffused, defined by product, so that you get that like gorgeous, beautiful, defined curl, 100% in. But in my opinion, someone with curly hair that has like learned to really like embrace the wave and enhance it almost, I think that's the hair that like makes me as a stylist turn my head. I know we've kind of strayed away from cuts and we're not talking about style, but I have to talk about bangs. I think Birkin bangs or curtain bangs still going to be a thing. They got much, much wispier last year. And so if anything, we're going to continue seeing that. But I think more of this like disconnected kind of layer where we just get a little swoop on the side here, but less of that kind of like wispy in the middle kind of piece that we were seeing in early 2025 last year. The reason why the style has remained is because I've said it a million times, but any bang that still has a high point, meaning it's not bangs that completely cuts off the forehead, it's super flattering on everyone because you're still maintaining a high point. So the eye still sees the length of your face. And because of that, it's actually can be more elongating than not having the curtain bangs at all, because it kind of slims the forehead and while maintaining length. So that in general is just flattering on everyone. It's kind of like the aviator sunglass. Like it just works on everyone. And another thing, and this has been, whether it was on the runway, whether it was like on a magazine article, the biggest trend, and I hope that this sticks around forever, is hair health. And this one makes me so happy as a stylist and as a person with hair. Long are the days that you favored and went for a color that was so far off your natural color that you sacrificed healthy hair for the trendy color. And it's more about like embracing kind of this naturalness, still enhanced, of course, because we can. But it's like if you're a natural brunette, this will just always be more beautiful than this to me, period. I don't care what season, what trend is out there. Healthy, shiny, glossy, luscious looking hair will always be in, but I love that it has such a spotlight this year. So I feel like hair care, scalp care is going nowhere. And if anything, it's just gonna have a bigger boost this year, which makes me so, so happy. All right, I hope this video was helpful. I hope I've left you with some info to maybe do a small tweak to your hair. If you already love your hair, perfect. I'm wishing you a happy, happy, abundant, healthy 2026. So excited to be back. I'm so excited to finally share the launch of my product line within a couple of weeks. I hope to see you before then in another video, but just know if you don't see me, just busy working behind the scenes. But I love you so much. Thank you for another year of support and being here, and I'll see you in the next one.